Hey, this is Eric, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to transfer your Gmail and your Google Drive files from your school account to another account. Change is a part of life. Maybe you're a high school senior or a college student and you're graduating, or perhaps you're a student who's moving to a new school. Or you might be a teacher who's taking a job at a new school district, or maybe you're an educator who's retiring after many years of service. In each situation, it is very possible that you may have a Google account. G Suite may be used at your high school, your college, or any one of your jobs. So what happens to your Google account when you graduate high school, graduate college, move from one job to another, or eventually retire? You will have built up years and years of emails, documents, slideshows, and much more. Is there an easy way to take all those files and that data with you? What would be great would be a simple tool to copy all of your files to a different Google account, such as a personal Gmail account. Well, thankfully we have that with Google Takeout for Schools. This is a very simple and free tool that will copy the emails and Drive files from your school account over to either a personal Gmail account or another G Suite for Education account. Let's see how this works. For the first step, you'll need to have two different Google accounts. The source account that you're copying from and the destination account that you're copying to. The source account, the one that you're copying from, has to be a G Suite for Education account. This would be your school account. The destination account, the one you're copying to, can be any kind of Google account, including a personal Gmail account or another education account at a different school. You will need to log into both accounts to copy your files. You can log into the accounts on different devices or on the same device. For example, if you're using a laptop, you could click on your account picture in the top right-hand corner and then choose Add Another Account. Or you could click on the Profile button above that and then click on the Manage People gear. And then you could click on the Add Person button to add the second account as a separate profile. There are many other ways to log into both accounts, so whatever works for you is fine. Now that you're logged into both accounts, you'll want to start with your school account, which is the source account you're copying from. In your school account, you'll need to go to the website takeout.google.com/transfer. Please note to use the full address. If you leave transfer off the end, you'll go to a different Google Takeout site that is used to download your files rather than copying them to a new account. We will take a quick look at that other site later. On the Google Takeout transfer site, go to the first section titled Enter a Destination Account. Here you'll type in the email address of the account you want to copy your school email and Drive files to. After you enter the email address, click the Send Code button. This sends an email message over to the account you specified to make sure you really own that account and that it is okay to copy your files and email over to that account. To verify this, you will now want to switch over to Gmail for the account you want to copy to. You'll find an email message titled Verify Your Account. In that message, you'll want to click on the button for Get Confirmation Code. This will open a new tab which will give you the confirmation code you need. You will want to copy this code. With the code copied, you'll now want to go back to the Google Takeout transfer screen back in your school account. Go down to the section titled Verify Your Destination Account. In the Enter Code box, paste in the code that you just copied. Next, click the Verify button. Now that you have verified that you own the destination account, you can begin the process of copying your email and Drive files over to it. By default, both your Drive files and your email will be copied, but you can choose to toggle off or on either of these if you do not want to copy one of them. In this case, we'll leave them both selected. To begin the copy process, simply click the Start Transfer button. Your emails and Drive files will now begin copying over to your other account. Depending on how many files you have, it may take up to a week for everything to get copied. You can close out of this window now if you want because all of the copying is happening on Google servers. When the copy process is done, we'll now find the emails and files in your other account. Let's switch over to that account to see. In Gmail, all of the messages will have been copied over to the inbox of your other account. Additionally, the copied messages will be marked with a label for your school email address and with a label of the date that the emails were copied. In Drive, all of the files that you owned or had edit rights to will have been copied over as well. The files will be found inside of a folder named after your school account. These copies are owned by you in your new account and are not shared with anyone else. Please note the emails and Drive files here are just copies of the originals. The original emails and files are also still in your old school account. So what about content that is not an email or a Drive file? For example, calendar events or contacts or Google Photos or Google Keep Notes. Unfortunately, the transfer tool only works with emails and Drive files. However, there is another version of Google Takeout that will let you download copies of other content to your local computer rather than copying it to a new account. To access this tool, go to the website takeout.google.com. Note, this is very similar to the web address we went to earlier, but without the transfer on the end. Here you can scroll down and check the box next to whatever content you would like to download to your computer. Then at the very bottom, click Next Step when done selecting. You can now select if this is a one-time download, and if you want to change the file type, the default is zip, or if you want to change the maximum size of each file. When ready, click the Create Export button. When the zipped file is ready, you'll be able to download the archive to your computer. As a quick note for G Suite administrators, you do need to make sure Google Takeout is enabled for your users and that they are allowed to share files outside of your domain for these tools to work. To make sure Google Takeout is turned on, go to your G Suite admin console as normal. Next, click on the Apps icon, and then click Additional Google Services. Find Google Takeout in the list of services and make sure that it is turned on for everyone, or at least for the organizational units that contain the accounts that will be using it. Next, click on the Google Takeout link to open its settings. Here, click on Additional Transfer Permissions, and make sure that the box is checked to allow users in this organizational unit to transfer content and save your changes. You can apply this to everyone or just the organizational units that you wish. To make sure your users are allowed to share files outside of your domain, you'll again go to the admin console as normal and click on the Apps icon, and this time choose G Suite. Next, click on the Drive and Docs link to open up those settings. From here, choose Sharing Settings and then Sharing Options. Make sure you select the On option to allow files to be shared outside of your domain, and again, save your changes. This can be set for all of your users, or again, just for selected organizational units. So, whether you're a graduating student or a retiring teacher or anyone moving to a new school, Google Takeout for Schools is an easy and free tool that you can use to copy your email and Drive files over to a new account, as well as download copies of other data you may want to keep.